Welcome to the Smart Business Revolution.
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 You want a revolution?
You say you want a revolution?
Revolution. The revolution.
It's going on right now.
Welcome to The Revolution, the Smart Business Revolution podcast, where we ask today's most successful entrepreneurs to share the tools and strategies they use to build relationships and connections to grow their revenue. Now, your host for The Revolution, John Corcoran.
Hey, everybody. This is John Corcoran with Dr. Jeremy Wise, and this episode is a little bit different. This is a live interview that we recorded at the Global Leadership Conference from Entrepreneurs Organization, where some of the best entrepreneurs from around the globe gathered in Washington, D.C. to share ideas and to learn about entrepreneurship. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25, where we help B2B businesses to give to and to connect to their Dream 100 relationships and partnerships, helping you to run a podcast so that it generates a referral pipeline and ROI.
Yeah, I mean, John, after both of us have been podcasting for over a decade, the number one thing in our life is relationships. And we're always looking at ways to give to our best relationships. And we found no better way to do that over the past decade than to profile the people and companies we admire and shout from the rooftops what they're working on. And this interview is no different. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should go to rise25.com to learn more, or email us at support@rise25.com.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the interview.
Enjoy.
Hey, John Corcoran. I'm here at Global Leadership Conference put on by Entrepreneurs Organization, EO. This is brought to you by Rise 25. We are the easy button for B2B podcasts, and I'm here with Jackie Carpenter of Ideal Restoration in San Francisco. And tell us a little bit about what you guys do, Jackie.
Sure, John. Good to see you. Ideal is an emergency service response company responding to damaged, flooded buildings 24/7.
And you got a lot of skyscrapers in San Francisco with a lot of water going downhill. I know that's a big part of what you guys do.
It is. The taller the building, the better. The further the water flows down. We like high-density buildings. We just had one not too long ago where a couple employees from a company went back to their floor of a high-rise. I believe it was the 27th floor. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. They had had a couple drinks, and they were playing with the Nerf ball above the cubicles, and it hit a sprinkler head, and the sprinkler head goes off, and these guys leave without saying anything to anybody, and they bail, they take the elevator down, and go home. So security doesn't know what's going on. For some reason, their alarm system didn't go off, and they didn't realize that sprinkler head had gone off until the water hit the lobby 27 floors down.
Incredible.
So those are the phone calls we get as soon as somebody realizes what's going on. We send in the cavalry, we extract the water, open up the walls, start the drying process, prevent mold growth. It's a 24/7 operation. There's always something exciting going on in San Francisco and the Bay Area.
Wow. And you've also dealt with hoarder situations where you get called in by a city or a county and, there's a mental illness type of situation, but hordes of trash that you have to clean up.
Exactly. There's a lot of mental illness situations happening around. And so some of these occupants in these buildings, maybe a tenant in a low-income building, they collect things. And sometimes those things acquire so much. Sometimes there's an accidental death in those units. Somebody slips and falls. Nobody realizes that happened until the odor permeates out into the hallway or the neighboring unit. At that point, obviously, the coroner's informed. They remove the body, but then we come in to do the deodorization and the cleanup and making that space safe and ready for paint and repair and to reoccupy the space.
And now you and I both joined EO around the same time, EO San Francisco, and so we've been in for a little while. This is both of our first experience at GLC. What are some of your impressions of GLC?
Well, I am stoked that I'm here. I didn't know it was going to be this fun and exciting. It's really opened up a whole new side of EO that I didn't see. In our forums, in our chapters, we are really a little bit isolated in our view of what's happening behind the scenes at a higher level. Now being on a committee, I get to communicate and talk to other committee chairs and committee members about what they're doing, how they're growing their chapters. So lots of fresh ideas. And the trainings have been great. Everything's been wonderful. And I've got probably about 20 new contacts that I can call for anything, any questions I have on the work I'm doing with our own chapter.
And what would you say for anyone who's at home, who hasn't attended a GLC before, what would you say about the experience of attending?
It's been very important. I can't imagine in the future not coming. One of the reasons I probably will stay involved, volunteering on the board, doing these things is so that I continue to come to these. The group's just great. Everyone is here, is giving a lot back to the organization. And so I think, like a lot of organizations, you get what you put into it. And this is a demonstration of that in real life.
Jackie, where can people go to learn more about Ideal? And you also have a speaking business. You do speaking as well. So where can they learn about that?
IdealSF.com is our emergency service company, Ideal Restoration in San Francisco. And then also JackieCarpenter.me is a new speaking platform that I'm just getting started on.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
John Corcoran here live at Global Leadership Conference.
Thank you for listening to the Smart Business Revolution podcast with John Corcoran. Find out more at smartbusinessrevolution.com. And while you're there, sign up for our email list and join the revolution.
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 And be listening for the next episode of the Smart Business Revolution podcast.